to my cooking channel. Welcome, and I am so excited that you are here. I'm Katie. I'm one that loves cooking and baking, especially for a large crowd. So let me make sure I have my group open so I can see the comments and we can interact, all right? Because I love connecting with all of you if you have not noticed that before. And as you join me live today, let me know that you're here. Hi, Mom. Welcome. I am really looking forward to our cooking demo today because, well, you know, what is next Thursday? Next Thursday is Thanksgiving. Oh my goodness. Can you believe that? I cannot believe it. Thanksgiving, I think, comes quicker each year, or should I say just the days and months just go way, way, way too fast. Anybody else say that? Hey, Linda and Janice, welcome, my friends. Anyone else feel like the days are just going so quick? I mean, gosh, it's almost dark outside. So we're just going to start cooking about it. At least I don't have to fight with the sun blaring in my window, but I still don't like that darkness. So we're going to start. Today, we are going to, I was so torn between what recipe to make today. I wanted to make something for Thanksgiving. I had like 3 recipes I was going to make all at once because they were quick and easy. And then I remembered I got some cauliflower in my fridge. Have you ever done that where you're like looking in the fridge like, oh my gosh, that has to be used up ASAP, right? Well, that was what I discovered. And so I thought, you know what? Why not use up cauliflower? And this is a way that you can get a recipe in your on your recipe menu for after Thanksgiving, so that way you can get back on track with eating the right healthy carbs and things like that that you want or that you feel best on, should I say. Welcome, everyone. So needless to say, we're going to make a keto-friendly shepherd's pie. Now, why does it say shepherd's pie? Did anyone ever think about that? Well, the original recipe I discovered is supposed to be made with ground lamb. Now, I have a little hard time with anything lamb. I think it's the flavor that comes through. How about you? Does anyone else struggle with that? I just am not a huge fan of lamb or of those, like even goat. Oh, I have a really hard time unless it's made right, and there are ways that you can make it. I've made it one time that I really, really enjoyed it with a lot of herbs and things, and so there are ways that you can do it that takes out that wild flavor, but I'm still not a fan. So anyway, so we're gonna get, I have my water boiling over here to try to get us going quicker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife and I am going to, and I think you guys can still see me over here. I got some turnips. It called for about a pound of turnips, and so I didn't have quite a pound. But have you ever cooked with turnips? I did not know there was several different kinds of turnips. I'm just cutting these cauliflowers into a bit more smaller pieces, so that way they'll cook a little bit faster. Because anytime you want to cook something, I can't talk today, I'm so sorry. Anytime you want to cook something a little quicker, you want to cut it in as small pieces as possible. So that's what we're trying to do with our cauliflower today. And we're just going to add that to that boiling water, and it's going to cook for, I think, once it comes to a boil, we got to time that for about 5 minutes to get that, let me just double check, to get the cauliflower soft. Okay, so it is 8 minutes. The turnips are in, and then you put the cauliflower in for another 10 minutes, okay? So once that water is boiling, again, we're going to, but I'm super excited for this because not only am I going to make like a cauliflower mash, but it's going to have turnips in it. And I read that when you combine both of them, it puts it to the next level, put it that way, because turnips can have that kind of an offsetting flavor, but then cauliflower also has a weird flavor, but you can put them together and it will kind of marry those flavors together and be a better option. So I'm excited to try it. How about you? How many of you have ever made cauliflower mash? I know some of my keto friends out there probably have done that. Oh, good, Linda. But my family doesn't like it, so I'm going to see if I can trick them. Now, cauliflower gives off a smell, and my kids, I tell you, they can smell it a mile away. They come in and they instantly can tell that I'm cooking cauliflower. So we're going to see if they can smell this today, okay? I'm going to turn my oven on to 375 so that can warm up as well. And we're going to start. We're going to turn my burger on. I got 2 pounds of burger. I'm not using lamb. I'm going to use beef today, okay? So we got that. We're going to put that there. And of course, you've got to have the mix and chop. For those of you that might be new to my page, if you don't have one of these for your burger, I mean, wow. I had several people stop by my stand this week that did not have one of these, and they were super excited to try it. So again, it is like a must-have in my kitchen. So anyway, we're going to just mash this burger up so it can start that cooking process. And while we start that, we're going to do our veggies. And that is boiling already, so let me time this. Let me set our timer for 10 minutes. And we're going to, I'm going to clear that. Oops, I messed up. There we go. There we go. All right, we got this timer going for that. Then we're going to drain that, and we're going to add some goodies to it to make it super, super awesome. How many of you, to your regular mashed potatoes, will add a bunch of butter or sometimes some sour cream or some cream cheese? Anybody else out there? That makes them super yummy. If you've never tried putting sour cream or cream cheese in just your traditional mashed potatoes, try it. It will take it to the next level, all right? So, hey Joyce, welcome. I am sure you do. People that are on the keto lifestyle definitely tend to do that. So next we're going to do our veggies, okay? So I got some celery. I'm very fortunate that I had some celery in my refrigerator because, well, you know, I don't always have my celery in the refrigerator. So I'm just going to use a tool that goes back and forth, and honestly, you've heard me say this before, I do not have mad knife skills, but I love when I can have a tool that makes my job so much quicker and easier. So instead of slaving away with a knife, you can just go back and forth, and then you got all of your goodies like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my carrot. And again, you can cut this in half if you want. This, I have people saying, is great for cheese and things like that. But we're just going to cut this in small pieces. And again, it makes your time go quicker. And I've got one more, but I also wanted to make sure that you have an amazing peeler. With the holidays coming, this is like my all-time favorite. So we're going to just peel. How many get that satisfaction with peeling anything? Does anyone else get excited to peel stuff? I mean, I love peeling because this is like my favorite tool. But it's funny when my kids start peeling, they all grab this one because I have several different kinds, and that's one of our favorite peelers because it is so extremely sharp. So anyway, we're going to do the same thing with this carrot. And we're just going to slice this in small pieces. And again, if I wanted it a little bit smaller, I could. In fact, thinking about it now, I should have probably made it a little more bite-sized pieces. But you know, it's what it is. Let me see if I can go through some of these. You guys know I'm not a perfect cook, right? It is just one of those things where you sometimes are cutting and you think about, oh shoot, I should have done that differently. Am I the only one? I know, right, Linda? Some reason I love peeling. I don't understand why, but let me turn my burner on in the back here. And I got my saute pan. I am going to put a little bit of coconut oil. Again, you can use olive oil, you can use whatever oil you like, but I love a lot of coconut oil, and we're going to saute our veggies because coconut oil is good for everything in your body. So I'm going to put that in there, put that on there. We're going to let that melt a little bit. We're going to work at our burger. And then we're going to do our onions. I'm going to mix my onions in with the burger. And again, if you are pressed for time, one tip that I love sharing with busy moms is you can fry up a bunch of hamburger and put it in the freezer just like that. Put it in 1 pound increments once you have it fried. It's going to not only save you time, but it's all done. And all you have to do is mix it in with some other casseroles. It really is a great way to make your life a little bit easier. And kids love to help a few times. And if you have their energy one time, why not max it out, right? Get them to work for you. That's what I did with my kids. And they feel sometimes they're scarred for life, but they're not. They're not. So next I'm going to put some seasonings. I don't know about you, but I like when my stuff is seasoned. And this, for those of you that have been on my lives before, this is like one of my all-time favorite seasonings. I get this at Costco. The last time I got 2 because it didn't take me long to go through 1. This is my popcorn seasoning. This is my everything seasoning, really. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of that on my meat as it is frying. I just like the extra flavor that it adds. You can't always tell that it's in there, but it does add a flavor to that. And the other seasoning that I love, if I can find it, is the Dijon mustard seasoning. This is also one of ours, and I like to sprinkle a little bit of that on some of my meats. It again just adds some extra flavor. Oh, I forgot my oil back here is cooking away. Let me throw that in there. And what do I want to toss this with? Okay. That doesn't look like very many veggies compared to 2 pounds of meat, but oh well, I guess I'll try it. So next we're going to do our, let me find my recipe. We got the stuff going, we got the meat going, and we got that. Okay, perfect. So now I am going to, oh, my onion. I knew there was something I was missing. My onion, it called for a medium onion, and again, I don't know how they measure onions, but I just took one that looked between small and medium and go from there. Hey, my friends, welcome. And again, if your onion is too big, you can cut it in half and put both sides down. And my food chopper is literally my workhorse in the kitchen. You can chop everything. If you do not have knife skills, just chop it. If you don't know how to cut something, just chop it. If you have children that want to help, let them chop it. I mean, they love it. It gets you some help. It lets them help you, but it also takes their frustration out. Especially something that's a little bit more light. And the more you do it, the finer it's going to get. Okay, so I'm going to put that to the side. I'm going to add my onions to my beef. Get all that goodness off my cutting mat. And we're going to just chop this up some more. So how many of you, let me know in the chat, how many of you have your Thanksgiving menu all planned out? I mean, it's only a week away. I am so hungry for all things Thanksgiving. In fact, I really wanted to bake pies with you today. I had so many things I wanted to cook and bake today, honestly. But I had to stop because I can't do everything on a live. I would have you here forever. But I'm going to be taking some orders on Monday. I'm baking. And I have several people that have placed orders for pies. and cupcakes and things. And so I will be baking that on Monday. And Tuesday I will go to my market where I go and I will have things there for people that want to get last minute gifts. Do any of you do Christmas at Thanksgiving? I know some people do. Some people really have been shopping for Christmas or Thanksgiving long time ago. If you do Christmas at Thanksgiving, put a 1 in the comments. I'd love to know. Okay, I'm going to chop this burger up a little bit finer. One of my pet peeves is having burger that is lumpy or that is too big of chunks. I do not like big chunks of burger. 2 minutes on my cauliflower and then we'll mash that. All right, so we got that going, and I'm going to add my garlic to. All right, that is almost done. I'm going to add my garlic to my veggies in the back here because I don't like to add my garlic right away, because if you've ever noticed, garlic does tend to burn a little bit easier. And so if you can put your garlic in after you start, then it won't tend to do that. And I'm going to stick another one in there. And again, if you have never tried fresh garlic, and these garlic, I think I'm going to cut this one in half. These garlic bulbs are huge. I got these from a friend. No, I did not plant my own garlic yet. It's just one of those things where, you know, life just gets away on you. Okay, let me toss that up. I think those veggies are almost done. Let me do my other garlic that it called for. And let me grab my little tool. Put that right in there and put that to the side. All right. I love smelling fresh veggies cooking. I love it. So I'm going to turn my burger off. That is done. And let me see what else we need to do. Next we have the beef broth. I got some beef broth here that we're going to stick in there. And I got my tomato paste. Now, you guys have, hey Tracy, welcome friend. Let me turn my timer off. You have heard my trick. All of you that have been on my page for quite a while, you heard my trick with my tomato paste. If someone is on here that did not hear about my trick with tomato paste, put tomato paste in the comments, because someone will fill you in how I made my little hockey pucks. And I'm going to throw that in with my meat because, well, they're a little bit frozen, but that's okay. It's going to thaw as it cooks. I forgot to let that off. And I'm going to put a little bit of beef broth in there, and we're going to cook that up. I think I'm going to thicken this. The recipe didn't call for it to thicken. I like a little thicker shepherd's pie. How about you? Does anyone else like to thicken it a little bit? And to keep it keto, why I'm going to actually thicken it with a little bit of, let me turn those off, a little, I call it glucy for short, because who can pronounce that long word? I mean, it's glucosamine, I believe, but I just call it glucy. This is a great thickener as well as xanthan gum. They are great thickeners. I like xanthan gum a little bit more, but I also have this. So it just takes a little sprinkle to thicken anything, and then it's going to be keto friendly, okay? So let's mash this tomato paste up in here. And I saw someone commented tomato paste. Who's going to fill her in on what I do so you don't have to throw away all of that extra tomato paste? I mean, a little can of tomato paste goes a long way, right? And so if you ever have a little bit leftover tomato paste, don't let it rot in the fridge. What do? with it so you can enjoy it later. I want to hear how many of you out there know my little trick. Okay, so this is looking good, and now it also takes Worcestershire sauce, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, however you say that name, and we're going to do 2 tablespoons of that in here. There we go. Some of these words are huge. Do they not realize sometimes that us cooks, we don't know how to spell some of those huge words? I always think back of Laura Ingalls Wilder. Did they know anything about Worcestershire back then? I mean, if they did, surely they didn't know how to spell it, right? Am I the only one? I think of Laura Ingalls Wilder way too often when I'm cooking. Yes, Tracy. I put it in 1 tablespoon increments, and this is what I love. I love getting this little tool and putting it down to 1 tablespoon increments, filling it with tomato paste, putting it on wax paper lined cookie sheet, freeze it, and then once it's frozen, I put it in a Ziploc bag and label it tomato paste or hockey pucks, whatever you want to call it, but tomato paste, and then I date it, the month and date that I put it in there. That way when a recipe calls, like today, the recipe called for 3 tablespoons, I just took 3 of my little hockey pucks out, and voila, it was done. I didn't have to open up another big can, and I did not waste any of that tomato paste that otherwise the half of the can would have got thrown away, right? So now I'm going to check my cauliflower, and oh yeah, it's very, very soft. I'm going to drain this. I got my colander. I'm going to put it over here in my sink, and I'm going to drain that. That's a little bit hot. Let me take this. I'm going to drain this, and then we're going to bring this back. This was a little tip I just learned this week too, that if you want to take extra liquid out of things, just like our cauliflower and turnips, you're going to put it back in your pan, just like this. We got our cauliflower and turnips in here, and I drained it, but there's still probably a little bit of moisture in there. So we're going to throw this back in the pan, and it's going to kind of, oh wow, the leaves are blowing today. It's going to kind of finish drying out that leftover moisture that may have got stuck behind. It's going to dry that out, and you know, sometimes things are a bit watery. Cauliflower can tend to be on the watery side. Turnips can tend to be that way too. This way, if you drain that extra liquid, it's going to keep a fluffier mashed potato or fluffier mashed cauliflower. I thought that was genius. I'm like, why did I not think of that before? So anyway, welcome, Norris. I'm glad you're here. So we are just kind of cooking that off, and I'm going to bring this over here because, and let me look to see. Oh, I actually probably boiled this too long, and it soaked up my liquid. So there's actually not hardly any liquid in here, but that's okay. We're going to just put that to the side. I am going to, let me take all my meat off of my mix and chop, put that to the side, and I'm going to take my veggies, and I'm going to put that right into my meat mixture. That does not look like very many veggies. I probably didn't have a big enough of a carrot, or, well, I guess when you stir it in, it doesn't look too bad. I would have liked more veggies, but okay. There we go. Okay, I think the water is almost out of there. Now, I did not salt and pepper my meat or my cauliflower yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind a little bit of pepper. I am very skeptical with my salt. For those of you that are usually on my live, You know, I try to limit the salt intake. That's why I love my no salt seasoning. And but I know that this is going to need some extra flavoring, especially the cauliflower, so I will put some of that in there when we do that. But I did put a little bit of salt in the water when I had the water boiling. So, oh yeah, this is very soft. So now the magic, let me grab I'm going to use my potato masher, put my little battery operated tool on there, and we're going to mash right in our, no need to make another bowl dirty. The turnips are super soft, the cauliflower is soft. Oh wow, nice, nice. So I'm going to add in some butter. I can smell the cauliflower. Was making sure some of my kids didn't come home when I had that on. So let me grab a little spatula, scrape all that butter in there, because I mean, my goodness, we've got to have all the butter because butter is life. And then we're going to mix this, and I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream as well. And let me read my directions while I am mixing. Hold on. I have to move my stuff. I should have put my laptop over here. My other iPad was dead, so I had to improvise. Okay, I need to put salt and pepper in this as well. So I'm going to grind a little bit of salt and pepper in my, I'm not going to do much salt because I already cooked it with salt. And then a little bit of thyme. And we're going to, I think this actually went in the meat mixture. I don't like a lot of thyme, as you guys know. So I'm just going to put that in the meat. Again, that'll flavor that. Got it. Okay, let's whip this up. Now to me, it looks a little on the watery side, so I don't know if I'm going to put all of the heavy cream in that it calls for, because I want it to be a little more on the fluffy side. Does anybody put cheese on your shepherd's pie? It said that could be an option, and I'm like, I'm all about cheese. I'm going to put a little heavy cream. Oh, that actually did make it more creamy. And you know what? I'm going to add, I got this chive and onion sour cream. I'm like, what? So I'm just going to squirt a little bit of that in there. More measures, right? Anyway, I thought that would give it a good flavor too. Make it hide the cauliflower kind of mixture. Let me sample this. Hey, that is delicious. I think I'm going to eat it just like that. You taste the butter? Yeah, my kids would never know. No, they won't know. Will they? I don't think so. I think we're gonna be good. I don't think they'll know. Okay, let me grab. But look at this. Look at this mash. I mean, how awesome. I know I can't dump it over. I'll spill it all over my equipment here. So now I'm going to slide this over. I got my number 13 pan, and I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to take my meat mixture that we cooked up with all the flavoring, all the veggies, and we're going to throw that right in the bottom. No need to have a crust, because, you know, keto is life. I mean, you try to do away with all those extra carbs, and I don't think anyone will miss it. Ooh, I'm excited for these mashed potatoes. Or mashed cauliflower, turnip. They are really, really, I'm pleasantly surprised. But we're going to pour this right over the top. Oh, I'm really excited. I have not had shepherd's pie in a long, long time. So when I saw this, I'm like, yes, I've got to make this. I mean, how awesome. Okay. I am sweating, you guys. As you can tell, I did not layer, so I can't take my shirt off. That is, that is very good. I'm excited. And so now I'm going to shred just a little bit of cheese. I'm going to grate a little cheese over top of this. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just a little to add extra flavor. And again, if you do any low carb, anything like that, you want to make sure you grate your own cheeses, because you're going to not have that extra starch that they put in shredded cheeses. So always make sure you grate your own. So I think I'm going to quit with that. So there we go. And you know what? I'm going to do a little bit of parsley because I like a little color. Where's my parsley? There we go. You guys, don't look at my seasoning cupboard. I've got way too many seasonings. Way too many seasonings. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of parsley over top just for color, because you know we eat with our eyes first. So there we go. There is our Keto Shepherd's Pie. I mean, amazing. I'm so excited. So I'm going to stick this in the oven because I got to leave here in about an hour. So I want to make sure to eat before we go. So, all right, there we go. And I will make sure to put the recipe in my recipe list. If you're not on my email list for my recipes, put email on the bottom and I will make sure you get my link, because that way I can keep everyone's email right on one spot and you can get all my recipes instantly whenever I post them. So I am so excited. Next week is Thanksgiving, and the week after that is when we start our 12 days of Christmas. I mean, whoop whoop, who is ready for our 12 days of Christmas? I already started posting for the 12 days of Christmas. I already started scheduling those posts because I'm so excited. It's going to be super fun. It's not only going to be Pampered Chef products, it's going to be other tools and products as well. So I cannot wait to see who's going to be all the winners of all of those 12. Well, is it going to be 12 gifts? You have to wait and see, I guess, right? So make sure that you invite a friend to come along, because starting December 1st, our 12 days of Christmas are going to be probably better than ever. And I am so excited. So you guys go and have an amazing week. And we will see you in 2 weeks, December. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? But have a wonderful Thanksgiving next week. I will not be doing a live because you guys and everyone else deserves to have a day with the family. So I don't want to take away that time. And I will not be home because I will be with family. So enjoy the wonderful week and celebrations, and we will see you next time. Take care, everybody.